Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to another vlog on TaneshhVlogs. The time is about 7 plus, close to 8 o'clock actually, to be honest. Look, it's gonna get dark. I actually vlogged earlier today, a little bit here and there, but nothing much. But I've decided to actually start this vlog off from right now because only now have I figured out exactly what I want to do for today's vlog. But before any of that, I'm stopping by this optical shop because there's something wrong with my camera that I have to fix, that I can only fix at this optical shop. Are you confused? I know. Let me explain. So this is my camera. Look at the nice view. If you open this, you should be able to open this and do this and all, right? But then notice here, there is a screw that is missing from this thing. See here, there is a screw. Can you see the screw? Over here, the screw is missing and this thing is moving. Can you see? So the same thing happened to Vikas' camera as well, and apparently he got it fixed at an optic shop because they have the tiny screws that go into this camera. Because remember, your spec has a tiny screw here. They have those things. So I'm gonna go there and ask them if they can give me a screw for free, or if they want to charge me 1 ringgit, that's fine as well. I don't give a shit. And I brought a tiny screwdriver with me. Let's go. Let's go. Hi, I need this. Okay, it worked. They had a screw small enough that could fit in that thing, and it works. It's totally fine now. I'll show you guys. Okay, I can't show you guys the screw because my phone just died and I can't use the camera to record it. But just trust me when I say the screw fit and it all works now, okay? Okay, so today's to-do list for me was basically sit at home and get a bunch of work done. And I was thinking, it's gonna be boring. What am I gonna vlog about? Because trust me, this was my to-do list. Check it out. Monday, write 1 or 2 scripts, which I got done. And then edit yesterday's vlog, and then edit an Inti video, and then reply Victoria. Victoria has been replied. Now of course the major work today was to write the script and also to edit the Inti video, which I will do, but I cannot really vlog much about. So I was thinking, what am I gonna do for today's vlog? And then I remembered, you guys have always asked for a Tanesh, do a video about how you edit your vlog. So that's exactly what I'm gonna do today. This video is gonna be about how I edit my vlog. I didn't have to do all this introduction because you already know by the title. But then, me being me, of course I have to, right? But let's get into it. This is how I edit my vlog. I'm gonna edit yesterday's vlog, which you would have already seen. This is how I would have edited it. This is how I edited it. Okay, on this side I have all my footages from yesterday's vlog. There's about 47. When I have 47 footages means there's not much. I can do it within about an hour or so. On this side, you see on a folder called TaneshhVlogs, I have this thing called Daily Vlogs. And here I have a folder called Vlog Template Folder. What Vlog Template Folder is basically, every vlog that I do, I put it in a folder called, for example, Season 3 Episode 81, Season 3 Episode 82. And in a folder, usually there'll be one folder for footages, one folder for any pictures like the thumbnail pictures, another folder called project, but within that folder I'll put the project file, like the editing project file, right? Now in order to make my life easier, because I do this on a daily basis, what I do, I have this template folder that I've already set everything up. When I want to start a new edit, I'll just duplicate it and then rename it as Season 3, and in this particular case it's Episode 82. Sorry, Episode 82. And then within Season 3 Episode 82, okay, under project I'll change it to 82. Okay, so basically the project file is also already created as a template. I will go into that later, but first we have to transfer our footage. Okay, under footage there's 3 other folders called G7X, iPhone and Nikon, because these are the cameras that I might shoot my vlogs in. So I always put the footages into their respective folders so that it's easier for me to know where is which footage coming from. Okay, so let's take all this footage and drag it into G7X because it's all shot in G7X. 47 footages is about 7 GB. We'll wait for that to finish. Now once the footage is transferred, before I go into my project file, I need to first choose the background music. That is very important. So usually what I do is I go to youtube.com, then I go to non-copyright music. I go to videos. For example, there's a new one. I try to go for the new one. Okay, I like this music. Once I decided that I like the music, I go get the link for this song. Then I go to YouTube to MP3. Click on this, to this website, YTMP3. Paste that link, convert that shit, download that shit. Once it's downloaded, I bring to my downloads. I'll open up my folder called TaneshhVlogs, and you see there's a folder called music. I'll take the song, I'll put it in the folder called music. Alright, once that is done, I open the project file. For those of you who ask me all the time, the editing software that I use is this Adobe Creative Cloud Premiere Pro. Okay, I mean Adobe Premiere Pro basically. And the first thing I do is always go and start a new sequence, and you see I already have the settings for my vlogs set up here. TaneshhVlogs 1080p 30 frames per second. You can create the settings that you want and you can save it as a preset. That is exactly what I did with here, so it's easier for me every time I edit. Change the name to season 3 episode 82. So what are all these? Why is this all already here? If you open a new Premiere Pro file, you won't always have that. The reason why I have it is because I already saved a template project which I just duplicate all the time. What is in my template project? There is an empty folder called footages where I will import the footages. There's a folder called graphic which already has all of the things that I use. For example, cinema scope. You know when sometimes there's a wider angle where there's like a black bar on top? This is that. You can't see right now because everything is black. I have this thing called episode number. See, episode 1 blah blah blah. Every time I just change to whatever episode I want. Facebook name with logo. Basically if I want to put my Facebook link. Instagram, if I want to put my Instagram. I have the subscribe button if I want to use that. I have the TaneshhVlogs end card, you know the ending, I just drag and drop it. I have the TaneshhVlogs name, also drag and drop. I have my Twitter shit also if I want to put it there. That is under graphics. And then I have this thing called code sample. Basically code sample, this is like the template for any quotes that I put at the end of the video. I just change this to whatever code I want to put, change this to who said the code. Okay, then I have a folder called sound effects, which is 2 sound effects. One is this, the punch sound effect, another one is the swish sound effect. Check it out, that one. And then I have a text sample, which is a text down there, which is a template that I use for like subtitles or any explanation that I want to put. I just adjust this here. Okay, so once I created a sequence, I will always go and import the footages. Now once that is imported, as you can see under footages, there's 53 items. All this is under footages. I'll import the music. This is the latest song that we downloaded, and then I'll also import the previous episode. If you guys notice, at the end of every video there is the one small box in the end card with the previous episode placed, right? So for that I need the previous episode. I'll import episode 81 inside it. Basically right now all my importing is done and I just need to start editing. I just start off with the footages. The first footage, let's see. Good morning everybody. So today we are okay, if you want to know what I'm doing here, see this window right here is basically a preview of whatever you select here. Watch what's going on in each of these clips and you can select which part of the clip you want. You can drag and drop it to your timeline. This window right here will play what's on your timeline. Okay, for example, I'm watching Good morning everybody. This is where I start speaking. I don't want the entire footage. I only want starting from here and maybe until here only. From here I click the letter I. See, if I click the letter I here, it'll start from here. I here, start from here. So usually what I do, I'll just get where's my in point and then I'll just drag and drop the entire thing here. This shit, clip mismatch warning will come because my footages are 60 frames per second, but then the timeline is at 30 frames. It always comes for the beginning. Ignore it. Say keep existing settings because you want the ending video to be in 30 frames. At least that's what I want. So I drag it to the timeline. This is the selection tool. If I want to zoom in on this clip, you see I can press Z, press Alt and zoom in. Alright, I always take a look at the audio waveforms because then I know where I'm speaking and when I'm not. For example, if you notice here, I'm not saying anything. Here I start to speak. So this is the cutting tool. This is to cut your video files, or you can just press the letter C and you get the cutting tool. Can you see? I go here and I'll cut it. I click V to bring it back to the selection tool. Click on this and press delete. I just side click here and ripple delete. It'll move to the front. Okay, and play. Good morning everybody. So today we are gonna, we as in me, I said here today we are gonna, and then there's a bit of space before I go to the next part where I say we as in me and Tash, right? So I don't want this empty spot in the middle because it can get boring. There's a lot of empty spots in the middle. So what I'll do, I'll get the cutting tool. I know this where it ends. I'll cut here. And then the next part starts here. I cut this out, so like that, delete it off. So when I click on ripple delete, this attaches together. Today we are gonna, we as in me and Ta. Now it's better, but of course, in order to make the cut from this side of the footage to this side of the footage sound smooth, it doesn't sound like there's a cut. For now, you can hear the cut. Gonna, we as in, right? It's a bit rough. So in order to smooth that out, what I usually do is I go to effects. I go to audio transition. Okay, I go under crossfade. You see constant power. I drag and drop constant power in between the audio of the two clips, and then I click on it. Right now it's too long. So if I go to effects control, it says is that it's 1 second long. That is too long. I'll change it to 5 frames. See, now it's shorter. Now if I listen to this,
Gonna be as in me.
so what this transition basically does is it takes the earlier audio and it fades it out, and then it takes the second audio and it fades it in. So there's a nice smooth transition to the next audio. And what I usually do, I click on it and I'll copy it because I'll use this a lot throughout my editing. So I'm cutting this part off, triple delete, Control V. See, it's a faster process now once you copy that. I don't want any of this, so I'll just select and delete and then move on to the next one. Okay, I'll just drag and drop the whole thing. I want from here, so triple delete, couldn't paste that shit. So at this part I say
Long, but I forgot to say.
welcome back to another vlog on TaneshhVlogs. And then I cut here. Now this is where what I call the cold opening ends, and then our intro comes in. So for our intro, I go to graphics. First I put the cinema scope. I put the cinema scope on video track number 4, then I drag and drop TaneshhVlogs name on video track number 3, and then I put the episode number on the video track number 2. So this is episode 82, as you guys can see over here. See, 82. Just press X, and then I just go to the song. This is all like the intro part. You can always see from the waveform where the beat drops how the song is. I'll find for the beat drop part, I'll listen to it. Okay, that's how long I want the song, so I'll drag and drop it over here. I'll usually put it on the audio track number 3. So all the BGMs and stuff like that, I put it on audio track number 3. All the sound effects like the dish, all that shit, I put it on audio track number 2. And then all the talking and etc, I put on audio track number 1. Right now we have to make sure it's perfect. As you can see, the beat drops here, not here. And I always like to match the beat dropping right here. So let's just cut this out and then drag it here. See, the beat now drops perfectly at this moment. So we play. Okay, so I want it somewhere here, and then I need to end it before I don't know the exact terms for music, okay, so just bear with me. So I want to end the intro sequence before it repeats again. So let's see where it repeats. Okay, the song starts repeating from here, so I will drag and drop this episode number, TaneshhVlogs name until there. The CinemaScope, I'll drag it even further. I don't want it to immediately be gone. I want it to slowly move up. So usually after I do this, I move on with the vlog, like what happens with the rest of the vlog, because I don't put the footage in the intro until I actually finish editing the entire vlog. This song starts abruptly here, so I need to make sure it's like fades in. Go to effect control, you can see the level here, right? This is where I want it to start. This is where I want the volume to be full. So when it's a full volume, it's basically 0 dB. I click on this add keyframe, meaning at that point the video editing software knows that at that point it has to be 0 dB. And then I'll move 1 frame back by clicking the arrow button back. I make sure at this point it's negative 15 dB. So basically at this point the volume is negative 15, and then the moment it moves here, it increases up to 0 immediately, and from here onwards it's placed in 0. Go to the beginning of the clip, of the audio clip. I'll make sure that is negative blah blah blah, which becomes negative infinity. When it's negative infinity, is basically no audio at all, 0, right? I play this now.
You've stopped so long.
The song is fading in. After that part is over, I do the same thing here. Now for those of you who don't know video editing at all, this might be a bit confusing. This is not a beginner's guide to video editing. This is how I edit. For those of you who already know how Premiere Pro works, I think you'll easily catch on to this. For those of you who don't know at all about the concepts of video editing, might be a bit advanced for you, but I'm sorry, for now in this video I'm catering on how I edit the vlog, not on how video editing works. Okay, so basically this is just me and Tash cleaning up the place. I'm gonna take this portion of Tash putting the bag down. I'm gonna drag and drop it here. See, now can you see the CinemaScope? I want this to slowly move up, right? So what I do, I select the CinemaScope, scale is the size of it. Add a keyframe here. So at this point it's still 100. I move a little bit, at which point I don't want it there anymore. I just put a value called like 140. It didn't disappear, it just became bigger. See See that? There's two different types of clips that I use in the vlog. One is like this, me talking to the thing and etc. So that's normal. And then there's another one where it's actions or beautiful B-rolls where I just show what's going on visually. I don't necessarily want to show what you can hear. So this is when I put the background music and etc etc. So in order to do that, I need to first mute the track, right? So if you click on the footage by itself, it selects both of it, right? But if you click on it while pressing the alternate button, see, if I click on the video, only video is selected. If I click on the audio, only audio is selected. So in order to mute it while pressing on the alt button, I will click on the audio, right click it, see enable, I'll disable it. See, it became dark now. That means the audio is now disabled, meaning it is now muted. So sometimes if you notice some montages, what I do is I make it slow-mo. But if I want to make it slow-mo, I just right click, go down to speed and duration. Over here I make it 50% and you can see it's slow-mo. So basically I just do this repetitively. So if I'm talking, I'll do this thing where I cut and I make sure all the talking part is nicely joined together. And then after that, sometimes from the speaking it goes to a montage. You guys have seen how it goes to a montage and do that audio fading in, and then after the montage is done, it fades out, and then I go back to a talking part until we get to the end. Alright, so that's what I'm gonna do now. I'm gonna fast forward this process. Okay, as you guys can see, I have completed the editing.
TaneshhVlogs, right?
Okay, this is the ending, as you guys notice. After this, I need to put a quote, right? So I bring in the quote sample, drag and drop it here. Okay, should Kenneth start a gaming channel? And the quote by Taneshh. Now we have to put a BGM for the quote. So let's go and choose this shit. Just nice. After the code, we have to add the end card. So just go up to graphics, TaneshhVlogs end card, drag and drop that shit here. And then we need to add the previous vlog video. Okay, I like this, so I'm gonna put that there. I'll cut off the BGM here. On effect control, the size of it, I'll make it 37. And then I'll drag and drop it here. I'll move this around. Okay, once it's there, I'll cut this off. Delete. Now the video is almost done except for the beginning, the intro part. So usually what I do is I will duplicate the sequence, name it extra. Doesn't matter what you name it, I just like to name it extra. If you notice now, there's two sequences. This is my actual sequence that I'm going to make it into a video. This is just so that I can scroll and choose which part of the video I want to like cut and paste. So when I do this, there's usually a bit of like adjusting, like some clips that are this long, I cut it into this much to fit there. So I don't want it to affect the main sequence, so I make a duplicate of it and I cut from there instead. Okay, I like this clip of Tash smiling, so I'll just cut this, copy, go back to the main sequence and paste it here. Mute the video audio. Not now. Okay, slow-mo, 50%. This is nice, but I just want to move this a little bit so that Tash's eyes go up. So I'll just drag this vertically up like that. Just nice. Done. Now you just have to render this shit. So just go to export, file, export, media, season 2, episode 82, save. So my setting is usually H264 and then match source high bitrate, and the estimate file says 680 MB. Click on export and then you just wait as it exports. It says about 8 minutes or so. Yeah, so that's what you do. So usually this entire process takes me about 2 hours. Sometimes if it's a very short vlog, it'll take me about an hour and a half. In average, it takes me about 2 hours, up to 4, 5, 6, 7 hours even sometimes. But yeah, that is how I basically edit my vlog. If you did not enjoy this whole tutorial thing, then maybe this is just not for you. You can come back tomorrow for a normal vlog. Given that, I'm gonna end this vlog right here because I'm gonna need to edit this vlog now. So thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys same time, same place tomorrow on TaneshhVlogs. Alright, ciao.
If you want to live today, do not